Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Yalla Salesforce. Thank you very much for making the time. We will continue our journey today with Yalla Salesforce Trail Mix. Over the last couple of sessions, we started to go through again what are the accounts, different types of accounts, and context and a relationship between them. And then we started to dig more into the sales cloud and understood more about leads and opportunities and sales productivity. Then we switched to service cloud, understanding more about case management, milestones, omni-channel. After that, we went to the agent force capabilities, AI offering, and what are the different agents and data cloud sneak peek. And then we wrapped up all of that with the Salesforce 101 to get the holistic customer 360 view with different offering from Salesforce across different clouds. Today, we will go for the lightning experience productivity. It's all about multitasking and to make sure you are productive throughout your workday. So we will start in here with elevate your daily productivity. So we start in here to create your hands-on playground in order to do some hands-on. And we learned that before. From here, you go to hands-on orgs, and from hands-on orgs, you can create a new playground or you can launch one of the existing. And once you launch it, we will go to the app launcher and launch sales app. All right. So we started a module with multitasking. So with so much going on every day, you have to be able to do multitasking. Lightning Experience sets you up to be a multitasking pro with two new options, Global Action and Utility Bar. So Global Action is this plus sign on the top of the page and Utility Bar in here. So what are the global actions? Global actions are actions that you can do it regardless which page you are in. It's independent and it can be related to any records. So you can in here, and this will enable you to do this multitasking we are talking about. So you, while you are in here, you can go create a new task. And in the same time, you can create a new opportunity. So it's gonna open two windows. So you can, while you are working on the opportunity, you can create a new task for yourself as a reminder for something in the future. So this is, in a nutshell, is the global action. And if you can see in here that if I am in a specific account and I said I need to create a new opportunity, it will be automatically linked to a specific account. But since it's a global, it will not be related to any specific record. It's a global. Same thing in here in the task, nothing in here, but you need to do all the selection. Utility bar is another way as well to be global across all the pages, not specific to a specific record. And you can in here go, for example, to-do list and create a new task. Again, open for you a new task. And we will explore how can we adjust it, how can we modify it, how can we add, even if I have a flow that I developed and I need to launch this flow from here. So we will find out all of that together. All right, so act globally. The global action menu is at your pick and call. All right, so act globally. So it's always available from Lightning Experience header in here. Need to send an email or a contact or start a new opportunity. All what you need to just go and click this plus button. Take a look at default global actions menu and your Salesforce admin. Everything in here is customizable, including even creating a new global action. So need to write an email and opportunity in the same time. This is exactly, so we don't need to juggle between different tabs. All in here, when you open globally, it will be open in there and you can easily minimize it. You can even maximize it. You have all the options to manage your screen the way you want. All right. So what's in a name? So you might be tempted to think the global action menu is so named because it's available everywhere. But in fact, it's because all of the options in the menu are global action that create record without an automatic relationship. So we mentioned that it's a global in here. That means it's a global across all the apps, all the tabs, and so on. But again, they are saying it's a global because, again, it can be related to anything in here. It's not a record-specific action. The beauty of global actions menu is so you can instantly create just what you need without needing to navigate elsewhere. All right, so before we jump to the utility bar, let's learn together how can we create a global action, how can we adjust all of these global actions in here. So from setup, our friend, all what you need, as usual, if you are looking for global action, go and write in the search global. So we'll go in here, write global, and you will find the option for global actions, which will enable you to create a new action, or you can publisher layout, which will allow you to add a new action to the layout. Let's start off with a new action and see what are the possible options in here. So you can create a record. So exactly like what we did in here, that I need to create a new opportunity. So this is create a new record. What else? You can have a custom LWC, Lightning Web Component, and you need to add it, send an email, log a call. You have a Visual Force. So all of these options are available for you. All right. So let's assume you created the action and you just need to add it to your layout in here. So I can see, for example, in here that I can add a new account, but how about I have an action called new account, but I can't see it in there. So how can I add it? Go to the publisher layout, and from the publisher layout, you will find here the global layout. And then edit. You will find the quick actions, and you will find the mobile and lightning. And since we are in the lightning experience, so we'll go for the lightning actions. And in here, you will need to click here. And I am looking for new account. So I add new account in here. Let me put it on in the first one. And all what I will do, I will hit save. Now I added a new account. So when I go back to my home page and click in here, now I have the new account. So the sequence of events will be create your global action. It might be standard like new account, and then create a new account. It does exist, but it wasn't in the publisher layout. So I added to the publisher layout, and now it's available for me. I can create a new account. Any questions? Perfect. All right. So let's move to the utility bar. The Lightning Experience header at the top of the screen give you handy tool like global action. And at the bottom of your screen, you have another awesome resource, which is the utility bar. The utility bar is a fixed footer where you can quickly access handy utilities. So if we change it any from sales to the service console in here, so you have as well another utility bar. So the utility bar is mainly app specific, regardless which tab you are in. So if I navigate it from cases to contacts, so you will find that you will still have the same utility bar. But if you navigated into another app, is you have another utility bar. So there is difference in here. So the global is global. Service in here. So if I went to the service, it's the same global action, including even the new account, but you will find that here, the utility bar is different from app to another. And the reason is we are configuring this utility bar from the app manager. So it's app specific. So if I went to app manager in here and I was in the sales for the Lightning, I will hit edit from here. And within the utility item, you can add utility item in here. That's why it's an app specific. So I will add utility item in here. Even you can have like, if you have a flow, you can add a flow and say which flow you need to add in here. You can add history, list view. So let's add a list view and say within the list view, I need to find all the accounts. So account. So you specify the object, you specify the filter, how many records will be displayed, and so on. And I will hit save. So I saved the utility item now for the sales app. So I'll go back in here, go to the sales. And from the sales, now I will find that I have this flow opened for me the UI for the same flow I designed, and plus I have here the list of views showing me all the accounts and the 4 ones I picked. So this is a very handy tool. To-do list will show you all the tasks that you need to do over the day, and it enables you as well to create a new task. So I'll put here any subject, and I believe this is all what's required. So it will be visible in here, and you can mark it, you can tag it, you can all of these great stuff. That it's a very handy tool for search and filter and so on. All right. So the utility bar is a fixed footer. We covered that. Utility open in a docked panel similar to the composer window we just talked about. So you have the same flexibility to navigate around working. So you can open it up, dock it back, even you can maximize it if you want, and so on. All right. So we understood those global productivity tools that will allow you to do multitasking. And even with this utility bar, because I might be already in the account and I'm working actively in this one, and I want to open another thing while I still have the account page open, that's why the multitasking comes into the picture. All right, the next one is we will be covering the home page. So in this module, they will be navigating back and forth between the classic experience and the lightning experience, but we are focusing mainly on the lightning experience. So let's go through the home page. So you will find, if you went to the sales app, you will find this seller home. We understood before that all the home pages are customizable. You can add components, remove components, and so on. But seller home is an exception, because seller home is a read-only page. So if I did edit page from here, edit page, you will find that I cannot add any components to it. It's a read-only page. All right, so how about I need to change it and I need to do my own home page? How can we do that? I will go back in here, and from the setup, I will go to home, and from home, you will find advanced seller home. You will need to toggle this off and make it inactive. Now, back to the normal home. How about if I need to create a new home page? So you need to go to Lightning App Builder. And from App Builder, you can create new. And from new, you will say, I need a home page. And from home page, you will say it Basim home. And I will hit next. I will say, get me the standard home page. And from the standard homepage, you can add performance. You can add my tasks, today's events, assistant, recent triggers, all of these. It's again the same amazing Lightning App Builder experience, which will allow you to drag and drop things and so on. And once we've done that, we will just hit save. And you need to activate. You want to say again the activation, the same activation that we learned in part of the app builder, that you can do it org default. You can make it app specific. You can make it for a specific profile and a record type, and not for the homepage, but I'm talking about record page. You can make it at the record type level and so on. But for now, I will assign this. Let's say just to make it for sales. So I will make it for sales next, and I will hit save. All right, so we saved this homepage for the sales. I'll go to the sales app now. And if we inspect and we did empty cache, we should be able to see the homepage we just designed together. All right, so back to here. So here, all of that is talking about the classic experience for the homepage. Here's what the default Lightning experience is going to be. The performance chart display data based on opportunities belonging to you or your sales team. So those are all the standard components we just added. Only opportunities for the current sales quarter that are closed or open with the probability over 70%. The assistant shows you the leads assigned to you today, opportunities with overdue tasks, opportunities with no activity in the last 30 days, overdue opportunities, and so on. News, it captures the most relevant news to your accounts. Then we will have the tasks, up to 5 tasks due today, calendar, same thing, recent records, and so on. All the components we just added. And this is how flexible is the Lightning experience to just put whatever you are interested in. Any questions? Perfect. All right. So the next one is talking about how to increase the productivity. So there are some keyboard shortcuts which you can use, and they are putting all the guidelines in here for Windows versus Mac and so on. All right. So when you work with the keyboard shortcut, keep these things in mind. You cannot customize keyboard shortcut in Lightning experience. Keyboard shortcut are not case sensitive. So Shift V. So some tips and tricks for the keyboard shortcuts. Any questions? Perfect. If no questions, let's jump to the quiz. Dates. Woohoo! We made it. All right. The next unit is talking about notes and files. And in here, again, we are combining between the classic experience and the Lightning experience. So notes and attachment is the old way of doing things within Salesforce. And this evolved in the new Lightning experience to be notes and files. And even the data model is different. And we're going to discuss that in further details. So before, when we used to use the classic version, you will find in here, the notes are very raw. It's just a text, long text field, which no formatting, no rich experience in putting the notes. However, in the new Lightning experience is totally different experience where you can format, you can relate it to multiple records, you can share it, and so on. So let's see notes in action. In order to start playing with the notes, so we don't have here notes. In order to enable notes, you need to go to setup first, right in here notes, and enable it. So enable notes. This is the very first step. Once you do that, now you can go to the notes tab. And you will find when you click the notes, you will find this great experience we are talking about in here. You can add all your notes and you can do the formatting and so on. And now you can add to records. So you can specify which records you are looking for. So like edge communication in here, and then you can add a specific record. And then you can also share. So you can share this with people, with a user. You can share it with a public group. We talked about public group before, that we can combine different roles and subordinates and with users and so on. So you can share it with a group. All right. So this is the notes. How can we add it to the page layout, or how can we add it in the account? I need to have here the notes within the account page. You will find in here notes and the attachment, which is the old way of doing things, which is a Salesforce class. But if I need to add the Lightning note, so I will need to go for the page layout. So I'll go for now edit page. And from the edit page, you can easily navigate to the page layout. It will tell you exactly which page layout you are in. So I am in here, I am in the account layout. And when I click account layout, it's gonna open for me. And I will need to go to the related list. Related list will allow me to go for notes. We will be talking about as well the attachment. Where is the attachment? So you will find in here as well files. So notes and files are the new way of having the notes and attachment in the classic experience. All right, so going back to the account page. And when I am in here, you will find the notes, the note I just added, and you have the option in here to add the note the same way. And since I am already within the note, so I don't need to add related to it, so automatically add it for me. But you still can add another object in here saying I need to relate it as well to a campaign and so on. And you have all the capabilities that we thank you very much. All right, and this is another note. Thank you. And I will hit done. So this is how you can easily create notes for a specific account. How about I need to add a file? So in here, I can add a file by easily dragging and dropping. So when I drag it, I will be adding this specific file to the this specific account. I can also add a file from here, and you will be able to see that you can owned by me, shared, someone shared it with me, the recent, and so on. Even if you have like, if you are working with, you have within your enterprise ECM, enterprise content management solution, like Box, like Open Text, like Google Drive, and so on, you will be able to even get those files from here, and you can add it to the records. So I have it in here. Plus as well, so these are the notes, these are the files. You have a tab as well for files. And then this is the profile picture I just added. If you need to see the details, it will give you way more capabilities comparing to the attachment, the old attachments, because this is like doing the role of content management. So you can add libraries, and within the libraries, it's like a folder that you need to put together all the files related to a specific account or subject area. So you can add a new library and say ma Basim library in here, and then you can upload an image for it and pick a picture and say save. So we are creating a new library where we will start adding everything related to Yalla Salesforce. So this is the library, and then you can add files. One more thing I wanna highlight, that you can in here saying, this is a version, Yalla Salesforce English 55, but I have a newer version of it. So you can go in there and say, I need to upload a new version of this one, and I need to 54 instead 55, and it's asking you what changed the different picture. I will upload. So now I uploaded a different version for the same thing. So how can we see all of these details and the history for what happened in here? So you can go for view file details. It's gonna open for you in here, showing you the final version, but it will tell you as well in here that you had two versions for this specific file. You used to have a version, this version number 1, and then now you have this version number 2, and you can download this one and see what is the difference and so on. You can as well track how many views, how many downloads, and all this great details. You can add description. You can also, other than downloading and uploading a new version, you can share. So you have the same share capabilities, and you can see as well who can access this one. All right. Any questions? So we talked about notes and files from the UI, and what is the rich new experience for the notes and files instead of attachments. How this is stored in the backend, I believe this is important as well. You might be having a project that you need to migrate from the classic into Lightning, or you need to migrate from a legacy CRM you used to have in your organization, and you want to move all of that into Salesforce. What is the data behind all of these attachments? So let's explore together. The old way of doing things, it was an object called the note. So you will find all your classic notes in here. You will find all the attachment legacy in here, in the attachment object in here. But since everything we did together today is in the Lightning experience, so it's called like content family. So you will find an object called content document. And let me select all the fields. We will be learning SOCL at some point together, but for now, just trust me, fields all, and put the object, and we are limiting the 200. So you will see all the contents we added together today. So I added, and this content document is mixing between the notes and attachments. So both of them, notes and files, all stored together within this content document object. So you will find the content size, the type, and you will be able to differentiate whether it's note or it's a picture or it's a PDF and so on. And then you have content document link. So we related this specific content document, or this thank you, we added to the a specific record, which was the account record. So if I went in there, you will find another object called the content document link, and I can say where content document ID equals the one I just selected. I will be able to see in here that this is related to the 001, which is the account. So if I open this specific record, you will be able to that I have this thank you is linked to that account. So we learning about content document link. How about the content? We have a file which has different versions where this is stored in the database as well. So we have content version. This is the next object we are talking about. So in here, you will be able to see a content version for a specific content document. So content document, content version, content document link. And finally, we talked about the libraries. So there is a content workspace. This is showing as well the content libraries we have in the org. So this is how things, so we have the asset library and we have the BASM library. And then if you want to see the content workspace with the documents, so you have another object called content workspace document. So this is how the objects are related to each other: content document, content version, content document link, content workspace doc, and so on. All right, any questions? Okay, so let's go back in here, see what this unit is giving us, if we missed anything. So even if you've been using enhanced notes in Salesforce Classic, you are still in for a treat, because enhanced notes in Lightning experience is different experience, and it's a way richer experience. In here, you can add the note, you can highlight the details, you can style whatever text you have in here, you can relate it to multiple records, you can as well share it. Create notes on the fly, so you can create in here a new note. And we learn it together as well, that we can add it as a related list to have the notes and the files. And here is highlighting that, like you have notes and all the notes and attachments. You don't need this notes and attachment anymore. This is the classic note. However, the new notes we added to the page layout was the classic, the Lightning version. You can also, after we enable the notes, we will be able to see it as a tab, and you can do exactly the same experience. Files, you have a tab for files, and we navigated through all of these great things. How can we open a file? How can we upload a new version? How can we see the old version? The libraries, as well the external sources. In here, you will be able to see Box and Google Drive. Manage files on a record. We learned that we can drag and drop easily. They are highlighting this in here, or you can add a new file. You have a lot of actions on the file that you can as well do it yourself. We can share with a specific people or a group, and you can put together in here what will be the access to this one. And then you can as well generate a public link if you wanna share this specific file outside your organization. You can as well generate a link and copy it for people to access that specific file. Okay, here are some considerations between the classic experience and the Lightning experience. So attachment or record aren't automatically available for Salesforce Files or the file related list, because attachments are actually files. There are options. Your admin converted attachment, which is the classic experience, to Salesforce file. We agreed that the Salesforce files are the new way with the related list. The document tab, this was a classic experience as well. Unfortunately, if you need to move things from the document tab into the the assets library and add all of these files, you need to download and upload and so on. Salesforce CRM content folders and files and libraries are available from Salesforce Live files in the Lightning experience. You can share and interact with team as with other files, but there are few current limitations. Depending on your org setup, you might have to switch to Salesforce Classic to create and manage libraries. If you don't have this option, content deliveries aren't available in Lightning experience. So it's just a different experience between the classic experience versus the Lightning experience, but we covered everything so far with the Lightning experience. experience. Any questions? Lovely. Let's go for the quiz. We made the second unit. Awesome. Any questions? Perfect. All right. The next one is talking about tasks, events, and emails, the different activities within Salesforce. Those are a special object within Salesforce because it can. So when we were talking about the data modeling before, we had the option to do a lookup relationship, a master detail relationship, which when you create this specific relationship, so if we went in here, it will ask you which object you need to relate. So if I'm in an object, like let's say I'm an account and I wanted to field a relationship, and I said, let me create a lookup field in here, it will ask you the next screen which object. You cannot relate the same field, lookup field, to multiple options, but tasks can, events can. And this type of relationship is very special, called the polymorphic relationship, which allow you to relate the same record to multiple records types, to multiple record types. So I can have within, if I opened in here, like the tasks object, they have a field called what ID. So if I did show all data and I went to what ID, you can find that this can be related to an account, to a campaign, so it can be related to any record type in here. And this is very special. Another special thing about the, if you need to add a custom field into the task, if you went to task in here, you will not be able to see that I have a new field. But if I need to add a custom field, where can I go? So you go to the activity. So activity object is the object that you can, it's if you need to add a new custom field to the task, this is where you will be able to add a new custom field to the activity. All right, so those are special things about the activities in general. Let's back to the sales in here. And when I open an account, you will be able to see here the activity timeline, which allow you to create a task, an event, an email, log a call. And if I created a new task, my new task in here, and the due date is 13th, and I'm gonna create it, it's gonna be visible in the activity timeline for this specific account. You can have all of these actions, you have all of these configuration that you can, I need all the time, next 7 days. So you have all of these filtering capabilities as well. You can create a new email, for example, and I will put in here the subject, and I will say to me, and so on, and then you can send it. It's gonna be visible in here. So Basim, you can add in here as well a contact. So all of this is possible, but you will need to have an S. User doesn't have a verified email, so I need to verify my email in order to be able to send an email. And we will be discussing more about the email later on. But this is the activity timeline. So the activity timeline, when you look at the record in Salesforce Classic, such as a contact or opportunity, so you can see the experience versus the lightning experience in here, which is way rich comparing to the lightning experience. Recap the latest activity. Your colleague is out of the office and you are handling their account, so you can easily navigate to the activity timeline and you'll be able to see all the action happened with this specific account. Either it's a call, or it's a task, or it's an event, and so on. Let's look at some of ways you can review what's been going with the client. So the first, upcoming and overdue. This is number 1 in here, upcoming and overdue tasks. Number 2 is you can see what's planned and what's already happened, and you can expand all, and you can view more, and so on. You can also change the filters as we discussed, and you have a lot of actions that you can perform. I believe that's all we covered as well. Keep your to-dos up to date so you can, in order to have like the full visibility for all the actions. It's good to utilize the CRM, putting all your tasks, having all the events, having all the updates happening within the Salesforce. So another great aspect of the task list is that while you see the list on the left, expand details appear to the right. So this is just the normal list view with, if you want to have it like side by side or having it as a split view table or Kanban and so on. So with the split view, you can navigate across your different tasks and you still can see the details on the right hand side. You have multiple actions as well in here, so you can create a follow-up, you can change the date, you can mark it as complete and change the priority. So it's like opening for you different fields, and which allow you with a click to change details for this specific task. Any questions? So far, so good? Perfect. All right. So the next one is about the calendar. So we want to have a picture for what are the activities or the events that I have, and I can add as well records to it. So how can I navigate? I might have as well that Einstein activity capture, which is syncing between my Outlook or Google Calendar and with Salesforce. Einstein activity capture, this is the sync tool, so you can see it if you have the license and so on. So you can go in here into Einstein activity capture and add, enable it, and this will allow you to do the sync between doing the sync between the Outlook or Google and in here. So all right, so let's assume we are either creating it manual or doing the sync. How can we go into this calendar? So from the app launcher, go to the calendar. It's gonna open for you the calendar in here. You can collapse this, open it. You can create a new event saying meeting, and I need to meeting with my client, and I will be specifying which client, and this is the date and all the details, and I will hit save. Now I have the meeting on my calendar in here. You can as well share your calendar with your colleague. So if you are collaborating with him or her and you want to see the conflicts and so on, you can as well add a new calendar. And when you add a new calendar, you will be specifying a specific object that has a date. So I might say I need to see all the opportunity close date. So I'll be navigating here saying I need the opportunity, and I'll be specifying which field. So I need to see when I have an opportunity and the close date, I need to have it visible on my calendar. So I can add it in here and say my ops, and I will be selecting the field to display. So I'll be showing the account. So if I have any opportunity that has a close date, this will be visible for me. I can as well color code. I have the option as well in here, the other calendar. I can add calendar, and if I have a public calendar or people shared with me calendars, I can search for people and I can add them in here. I believe this cover most of the calendar capabilities. Let's see what they are saying in here. All right, in the calendar lightning experience, it's a very rich as well experience. You have the option to create a new event, and you can save it, you can collapse it, you can view other calendars, exactly what we covered. So what's especially helpful in lightning experience is how you can share your calendar and view calendar your colleagues, and we just saw this for the other calendar. You can add multiple calendars, you can color code, share calendars, make it easy to see when events overlap, so you can plan your days way better. When a coworker view your calendar, you can control the details that they can see by changing the default access level. So there are some control in here to not open it wide, to show specific coworker more fewer details about your schedule, and then you will just click this and start to do all of these like limitations you want to put. See your Salesforce data as dates on your calendar, and this is what we added for the opportunity. We added the object, and we can as well color code it. This is a great brief video that walk you through the calendar details. All right, email. And I believe we're gonna cover the email and we will wrap our today's session. Email is, again, it's a productivity tool, so you don't need to go to your Outlook in order to send an email. Salesforce allows you to send an email from here straight. And if we came back to the accounts, exactly like the way we were in here, I can go and put an email in here. How can I configure my email settings, and if I need to add a signature and so on? So from here, you can go to settings, and from the settings, you will put email in here. And from my email settings, you can put all the details you want. What is the email, and the email address, and the name, and if you want to put a signature in here, all of this can be considered. So if you want to create a new email with your signature, it will be pitched from here straight. So I saved my signature and so on. So I'll go back to the account, and when I hit a new email, now showing my signature. And once I verify my account, that this is from the user, and they verify your email and so on, you'll be able to send an email straight from here. All right, so this is the email composer. You can add, you can format everything in here. So thank you, email. And in order to accelerate, so how about if I have like a thank you template that I keep reusing, and I want to enrich this email, not just to keep typing. I need to add fields from this specific account, or say if I'm in a contact and I want to send the hi or dear Rose, and have this dynamic. How can I do that? So I can from here say I need this email, and I will say, hey, customer. But I need down there, I will need to say, hey, first name. If I need hi, and then add the first name. So now it will be dynamically fetch what is the first name for this specific contact, and it will be showing you, it will be sending the email dynamically for this specific customer. And then I can add in here, and you can as well go to the sender and say the full name for me. So this is all merge fields that you can fetch from your org and put it in the email. How about this is repetitive, as we were discussing, and I need to create as a template. So I can save it as a new template. And you have the option to have it for everybody or for only for yourself. And this will be hide customer template, so you can reuse it. Accordingly, if I close this email entirely and I start from scratch, I can come in here and say, get me the template for, hey, customer. It's gonna bring for me all of this great stuff. So how about I need to attach a file? So I can attach a file in here saying I need my profile picture or whatever the image I need to add. I can save as well this as a new template and say my template with attachment. And I will save this as well in the public folder. So I added this with the attachment in. So when I go back to the email, I will say, get me the template with the attachment. It will show me the template, all the merge fields I did, plus the attachment. All right, so what else? If you want to have a full visibility for the email templates and what are the different email templates you have for different objects and so on, you can go from the app launcher into the email templates. So here are all the email templates you have, and you can define your new email template from here as well. One more thing, if you want to send emails in bulk, you can go back to the contacts in here and say, I need for those 20 people, I need to send an email. So you can go all the way like that. And then you will say, I will need to send the list email. So it will show you that my contacts, which is the name of the list view with all the contacts in it. And you can put whatever content you want to say. So I will say, hey, or I can even easily, now I have the template, so I can say inserted the template. How about if I want to see how this is going to be visible for every customer, because I have 20 customers now. Now, when I go to the review tab, you will be able to see that it's dynamically showing you the different emails that it will be sent. And once you send it, it's going to send you an email confirmation saying that we did this for the 20 contacts. I believe we covered everything in the email. We're going to scan the module quickly and wrap it for today. So send the email from anywhere. This is the, again, the classic version of the experience. This is the lightning version of the experience. Email features in the lightning experience. Within the email composer, there are several features that make your email even way more powerful. You can relate it as well to a specific record as we were in here. So this is related to, and I can add related to. Then send an email to the group. This is the classic experience that we used to have, but we saw it in the lightning experience, which is this amazing send list email. You can review. We saw how can we review and how the merge fields got translated. We saw the email templates as well, that it's very easy and convenient within the email composer itself. You can create a new template, or if you want to go to the app launcher and see all the email templates. Then another great video just walking you through everything. Any questions? Perfect. Woohoo! We made the third unit together. If there is no questions, thank you very much and wish to see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.